Welcome in, baby. I appreciate y'all coming in. We do something a little different here. We do teaching rather than preaching. I'm grateful I could just contribute to you this morning. I know there's so many people out there ready for some kind of something to happen, and this might be your night. This might be the night that turn your life around for the rest of your life. This might be your night. And I pray that it's your night or this your morning. Because we're going to go ahead and read we're going to read from this book today. It's a little early. It's a little early, but early is good. It's a little early, but the early is good. It's a collected works of Thomas Troward. And we're going to talk about mental science. If you don't know what mental science is, you will find out. It's exactly what it sounds like. And I'm gonna break something down for you. When I was in college, I was studying conspiracy theories. You could call me a conspiracy theorist, but the deeper down that conspiracy theory rabbit hole I went, I was also very practical, and I realized that it's situations that are set up in at least the West that the majority of people were unaware of, but I don't think that the people who come from where I come from were unaware of. We grew up below the poverty line, and I didn't know that we grew up below the poverty line because it was just the way, it was our way of life. I didn't see it as any different. It was just what we did. So it was how we lived. And my mom didn't let us starve. And I don't think that starvation means poverty. The poverty line it has nothing to do with if I'm starving or can't eat. But when I was younger, I just remember growing up saying, this is not what I want to do. This is not how I want to live. It got to be a better way to do stuff than the way I'm seeing my mom and my dad do these things. And I wanted a different way. I wanted a different way. I just had a deep down desire in my heart and belief in my heart that it could be a different way. I wanted it to be a different way. And that's what caused me to go looking for a new way, because I was feeling so bad at such a young age. And maybe you could relate to this, but I couldn't believe that not being able to get a trainer for my football career was a thing because of money. And my mom and my dad always argued about money. My dad worked 2 and 3 jobs, had a heart attack from working all day. And I said, this cannot be the only way things work. And I wanted a new way. And when I went on my journey to find out what could be done, I joined multi-level marketing companies. I started companies of my own. I joined other people's companies. I looked inside of the Bible. I looked inside of scientific books. I did everything in my power to find something that was real that I could use. And this is what I ended up finding. I don't want to talk about my accolades and all of the beautiful things that happen in my life. I got concerned with helping other people because I know how you feel. There's no reason you should wake up every day and feel bad because you're a good human being. But there is information that is withheld from us, and they do not want you to know about it. And that is what my goal is to reveal here. It is not a conspiracy theory. It is knowledge. Yeah, play the game. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is knowledge that really works. It works to heal your body. It works to create circumstances that you deserve to have. And it works for love too. I have love in my life right now. But you got to understand where I started. I started in dark places, just like you. So what I'm going to talk about is the myths and the theories. And then we're going to talk about the science and experiments you can do with your mind to create circumstances. So this is what I want to do. This is going to be different than a law of attraction live. This is not a law of attraction live. This is not a believe and you will achieve live, even though that's true. What we're going to do today is we are going to teach. I'm going to teach you about things I didn't create. This is not my information, and it's not new information. It's simple information. Hey, if you want to win parlays better, you can, if that's what you want right now. If that's what you want right now, you can. If that's what you want, you can do that. And it don't matter. I'm not judging anybody's desire. I'm not one of those spiritual human beings who judge desires. We came here to enjoy our desires and to achieve our desires. You are a goal-striving machine, regardless if you know it or not. But once you figure out how you're a goal-striving machine, you will realize it is true that you can, whatever you believe you can achieve. But nobody taught me how is that true. How is that true? So I'm going to talk to you about the science, and I'm going to talk to you about some of the myths. So here's what a lot of people say about attraction and creating a reality. They say you can just think about it and it will come to you. How many people believe that you can think about it and it will come to you? You can think about it and it will come to you. How many people believe that? And I'm asking y'all at this point, because if you want to get anything out of this morning, you got to participate. What you put in is what you get out, because it's turning points in our lives sometimes. You agree. It's turning points in our lives sometimes. This can be a turning point for you. This can be a moment where you stop doing this and being safe and staying in the box, and you can elevate. It's certain things that if you learn them, regardless if you want to be successful or not, you will be successful. So the truth is, if you think about it, it will come to you. That is the truth. If you think about it often enough, it will come to you, and it is coming to you. But how many of us also realize that you've thought about certain things for a while that still have not come to you? You've thought about a business for a while that still hasn't developed. You thought about the relationship that you wanted that still hasn't developed. And you thought about healing yourself and getting your body in shape, and it still hasn't developed. Or even if you want a spiritual awakening, it hasn't developed. The question is that I have for myself, what is the mechanism that makes this work? I don't want a belief system because I feel too bad to take on another theory. Okay? Plenty of times you got to do the work. And that's also true. You have to do the work. I'm going to teach you some stuff that my teacher taught me. Okay? And this man has sold billions of dollars of product, and now he's a spiritual teacher primarily because he doesn't care about money. But he's had billions. He's had the yachts and the private jets, and he's had the mansions with the full staff of the mansion. My other teacher created a $250 million business and sold it to Warren Buffett. And he's also now a spiritual teacher. So these people my teachers, who I love so much because they saved my life. They saved my life. The reason I teach is because of them. They saved my life. Best thing I can do is give that to somebody else. We do not do this alone. We don't do this alone. It's teachers along the way. Okay? Mental science studies the spirit's effect on the mind and the mind's effect on physical matter. And it also studies how you can elevate out of just your physical belief in yourself to a mental understanding, to a spiritual understanding if you want to awaken, whichever one you want. If you are a spiritual human being, it works the same way. If you are a person who wants wealth right now, it works the same way. If you are a person who wants love right now, it works the same way. How do you overcome regret, lost youth, grieving? What could you have been? I want to show you. You don't have to grieve what you could have been. You don't have to. It's not necessary to grieve what you could have been. You can always make what you want to be. If you understand, this is what they don't want you to know. They don't care if we know the law of attraction. They meaning there are people who understand this and have been taught for generations about the mind and how the mind works. But their only goal is to make money off of you. Let me say something today. I don't have a desire to take your money. The desire that I have is that you understand this. And hear the real truth. If people who were teaching you how to make money really made money, why would they need your money? It's not to say that they wouldn't charge you for money, but why do they need your money? Why is that their entire business? I run a business of my own. Why is it that they want your money? So just think about that. I'm not asking for your money. I'm asking you to do this that we're about to teach and we're about to learn right now. Okay? It is 5 things. My teacher broke it down to 5 fundamentals. That if you recognize these 5 fundamentals, you will always be able to create anything you want, even get over grief. And I'm going to just break it down for you. So here are the rules of mental science. These are the rules. Rule number 1. Know who to listen to. And I want y'all to take notes if you can. If you can't, that's one thing. But I want you to write down these notes. The number 1, the first fundamental he taught me was, Josh, you have to know who to listen to. What's the answer to who to listen to? Listen, y'all. A, the people who have what you want. The key word here is you. They have what you want. And they have been where you are. They have what you want and they've been where you are. The number 1 reason people are being lied to, manipulated, and always off track from what they want is they're listening to people who have nothing they want and have never been where they are. I realized at some point, I remember this. I remember I wanted to be wealthy. I wanted to create some type of money. This is when I was 19. I said, and I'm 33 now. So when I was 19, I said, I want to get out of here. But my mom and my dad gave me advice. And when they gave me advice, my rich mentors, my wealthy mentors said, why would you take financial advice from somebody who does not have a financial situation you want, even if it is your mom and dad? It was a good thought. But ultimately, who you listen to is B, your own gut. You listen to people who have what you want, and you listen to your own gut. Now, why is this the case? Let's talk about the why behind the what, because I'm not going to tell you just what to do without telling you the why behind it. The reason why you listen to people who have what you want is because they have a brain that's built for having whatever they want automatically. They've already built the neural pathways in their brain that allow them to automatically do and think and vibrate and feel the way you need to feel to get those outcomes. You have to listen to people who have what you want and been where you are, but ultimately, this is really number one. This is number one. You listen to people who have what you want, yes, but you ultimately listen to your own gut. You ultimately listen to your own gut. This is the first thing that he taught. We cannot keep listening to people who don't have what we want and don't have the emotional states that we want. They don't have the physical states that we want. This is number one. Number two. And this stuff it sounds basic, but this is it. This is it. Number two. So number one is know who to listen to. Number two is you have to be teachable. Your teachability has to be super high. What is teachability? It's two things. It's two factors. It's a 10 out of 10. So 10 out of 10. You have to be 10 out of 10. One, and this is two sides. Side one and side two. Number one, you have to be willing to learn. That means if you up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. with me right now learning this, your teachability is high. Babe, we synced up. See, that's my girl right here, Empathy Empire. Go follow her. Empathy Empire. 100%. You have to be willing to learn. That means if your mentor or teacher tells you to do something, like read every day, and you wake up every single day, and this is what I had to do. I did not like reading. I actually hated reading. I failed reading in high school because they made me read books I had no relation to. I did not relate to the books. So I hated reading. My mentor, who has what I wanted and been where I was, said, Josh, you have to read if you want to be successful. Everybody up on that stage, everybody who is making the money that you want to make and is happy and is free, they don't have to work no more. These people read, the majority of them. He says some of them don't, but the majority of these people read. So I had to make a decision in my mind. Am I going to continue making the excuse that I'm not the type of person who reads and try to succeed without reading? Or am I going to read because they told me to read? Am I going to read because they told me to? Which one am I going to do? Am I going to listen to my own broke mindset, my own lacking mentality that has got me that has put me in a position I'm in now? Or am I going to listen to him and am I going to read every day? Let me tell you, when I tell you I was sitting on the edge of the bed, he told me to read. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed. All of a sudden, I don't know why, I'm reading a paragraph and all of a sudden I'm sleepy. Ooh, I'm tired all of a sudden now that I got to read. Hey, anybody experience that? You start reading and then all of a sudden you're just tired. I'm so tired. Or I got so many things to do. Where's my to-do list? Now you want to clean the house. Now you want to clean the outside of the house. Now you want to run. Good morning to you. Happy new day. Thank you for coming up again. Teachability index 10 out of 10. You showing up every day. I'm here every day. Almost every day. I can't be here every single day, but I'm here majority of the days between 5 and 7. But other things, so you understand what I mean. Listen, we got to overcome the lazy urge. 10 out of 10 willing to learn means I'm willing to sacrifice. Is sacrifice what you like most. So you got to ask yourself, what do I like the most? Okay? I'm on the West Coast, so 2 a.m. Hey, here we go. It's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. Way to be here. So, what do you like most? Do you like hanging out with your kid the most? Do you like hanging out with your girlfriend or boyfriend the most? Do you like watching certain Netflix shows the most? Do you like Black Twitter the most, or being on Twitter the most? Do you like eating the most? Do you like hanging out with your friends the most? Do you like playing the game the most? What do you like the most? Right, do you like, hey, exactly. By the way, I'm following y'all. If y'all here, this is for you. I'm going ahead and following y'all. So, willing to learn, the first factor on willing to learn is, what are you willing to sacrifice? This is, let me put A here. This is the very first factor. What are you willing to sacrifice what you like the most to do something else, to learn something else? The second factor, and this is the first factor over here. So this is A. Now B, factor B is this. And this is teaching, by the way. You notice I'm not getting you hyped up. This is what the successful people who get on top, get on the stage and start talking. This is what they actually do, but don't know they're doing. What's up? What's up? Back to it. I'm following you. Yeah, they blocked my other account, so I'm happy I'm back. This is sacrifice what you want the most. Number two, it is willing to learn is first. And then number two is willing to change. This is the hardest one. And it's hard because of a couple different reasons. And I want to break it down for you. All right. If you are willing to learn, a lot of people are willing to learn. Not most people aren't willing to learn, but in today's age with the internet and Google, you may be willing to learn. Okay, so some people are willing to learn. But here's what most people are not willing to do. You are not willing to change. Okay, and this is the biggest issue. The reason it's a big issue, do not feel bad about yourself on this. The reason it's a big issue is because habitual neural pathways. Neural pathways are neurons that fire off in your brain. And what happens when you think a thought, a neuron fires off that's associated with the thought you think in your brain. So you use the mind to think and the brain responds to it. So you think a thought in your mind and then neural pathways fire off in your brain. But when you think the same thought, what happens is those neural pathways get stronger and stronger and stronger. And then the thought, you don't even need to think it no more. Your neural pathways, if you see a scenario, your neural pathways fire off and it makes you think the thoughts. That's why you have thoughts come in your mind automatically, because you have the neural pathways for those thoughts to be thought very easily. It's similar to